Journal Entry 35. Jason, go ahead.
From the pen of Sergeant Drake Alexander. Streams of light shooting in through arrow-slit windows are made visible by particles of dust floating on the air. The room is rather stuffy. A great number of people are gathered around an oversized wooden table, making the otherwise moderately large room seem small. At the head of the table stands Adliga, a tall Curie with long blonde hair. He is one of Ular's men in charge of the stronghold here, and he speaks authoritatively. Beldun and Thormun have returned. An alliance has been formed between the Valkyrie Ular, Jandar, Einar, and Vidar. Some of you are here as a result of that alliance. As you all know, trouble stirs in the swamplands and jungles to the south. It has been decreed that a small band of warriors will brave the Valkyrian wastelands and venture into the jungles below. The goal is to scout out the jungle and return with whatever news can be gathered. Jandar has foreseen that the jungles hold a secret of great significance in the war for the Wellsprings, and has sent Sergeant Drake Alexander and Raylan the Curie warrior for the purposes of leading the proposed band of warriors.
Okay, Josiah.
Raylan stands and speaks out in that clear and confident tone of hers. We have chosen the heroes who accompany us on our journey. Silent, the elven mage, for his knowledge and skill with the magical arts. Major Q10, a leader in Vidar's army, successfully quelled the most recent attack by the Morrow on this very stronghold. And finally, the young ninja that Einar summoned, who accompanied Thormun's party on their return trip from Lynn's farm. Thusly, our company will have representatives from each of the 4 allied Valkyrie generals.
Woohoo! And here we go. The original
The
team.
Fellowship.
Yes, basically. The Fellowship of Valhalla. And so this is basically leading into the Swarm of the Morrow story arc, which I would consider probably the best thing that came out of original Heroscape. Basically, was that story arc, because you actually have like a unification,
a
narrative of people that gather together, on a goal, on a quest. And I think that's when things got interesting and brought together. So this is the beginning of it. So you kind of like for Journal Entry 34, you kind of needed Journal Entry 34 to get to Journal Entry 35 to introduce the last of the group, Shiori.
Mm.
So and when it comes to Brett, well, we did talk about Brett and actually Journal Entry 34.
We did talk about Brett,
so it kind of works, although it had nothing to do with Sergeant Drake, but it works for me.
For those audio listeners, we'll sum this up real quick. A visitor came in, guy Tony. He happened to see the thumbnail that I had made.
Yes, Tony,
where
14.
if you guys happen to go on YouTube I'm saying for the listeners.
Spotify listeners.
Spotify listeners.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out, thank you so much for listening. If you happen to go check out the thumbnails that we do for the journal entries, I use this PNG file of a scroll, and I put images that would be on scrolls. Anyway, he thought it looked like a bread, and so we're talking about Sergeant Drake on bread. That's what he thought the image was on the thumbnail, and now Premiumscape is talking about putting bread on his thumbnails. So if you start to scroll through YouTube and people are just putting bread on their thumbnails, we now know why. So let's actually start that trend.
A sandwich shop with specialty Heroscape named sandwiches. Like the Drake Alexander is a good name for a sandwich. Like,
I mean,
now I'm getting hungry.
There's actually a sandwich shop not too far from me called Wally's, based on the Griswold adventure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God, why can't I think of it? National Lampoon's Every Vacation. And all of the sandwich names are rides or characters from the movie. So
wow.
We could do that. We could make the Trollkona happen, okay? This giant sandwich.
There's nothing but raw meat between two.
Just ready for any big sandwich guy, Like just
yeah.
That would be, but you would need like
thank you
some
for the
type
laughs,
of
Tony. Thank you.
stinky cheese with it though. If it's Torkelnaw, you need some
Oh,
type
yeah.
because
Okay, well-
Torkelnaw is kind of like a gruesome
Or
thing, so
spicy.
that could work too.
We can go pepper jack. That's
true. No, you need some like bitter cheese, like what's that? Gorgonzola? Is that the sticky cheese?
Sure.
yeah.
No.
Gorgonzola.
Yeah.
Let's go watch an episode of
Gorgonzola.
I want to eat it, but
Chowder.
I think it's a great.
Chowder,
idea.
Gorgonzola and 18 pieces of roast beef is the
There you
Torkelnaw.
Anyway, back to the journal entry.
Heroscape.
35.
Yeah.
lore.
Uh,
So we have Raylan sitting in Tony Stark's Batcave, okay, and he's she's assembling a team. That's what's happening.
and we also have like Atlaga mentioned here too, although it's not part of this team,
No,
this team of Avenger type party.
but he is at the head of the table.
It's kind of like almost kind of like what's his name? Who's not an Avenger, but he's head of Shield. Come on, names.
You're talking
Fury?
about Nick Fury,
Nick
yeah.
Fury?
Yes.
Fury?
Yes. There you go.
The original Nick Fury.
Atlaga.
If you think about it.
Yeah. Why not? I'm all for that. I think I don't think Atlaga's ever been connected in that way, but I don't think there would be much. I'd say you're not wrong.
No.
When it comes to
No, I definitely know that this journal was released before Atlaga was revealed. So when he was revealed, he was actually like a named character coming to lore. It's very interesting. I think from this point forward, we kind of touched on it. Like the narrative really kind of starts to tell a story. Before this point, it was kind of just things happening.
We're
But
trying
this
to
is
figure
like
stuff
there's
out.
a mission. There's actual heroes of Heroscape kind of getting introduced and playing a vital role in the development of the war. So I think it's very interesting that who they picked. I suspect that Einor just sent Shiori like, yeah, I don't want her anyways. You can have her. I'm not risking any of my troops.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this starts connecting too with like the webisode that was released as well as a secret webisode.
Yeah.
Those characters coming together. So I mean, when it comes behind the scenes, when it comes to just writing lore for the game, but as well as like the production side of things, people had to make sure everything kind of fit as best as possible. Even though for like video film production, as long as you're not straying too far, you can tend to do your own thing a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is when it all starts coming together, and you start seeing that alliance. Obviously, who is it? Oh my goodness, what's with me and names tonight?
Keep talking. Give us details. We'll help you out.
The other Valkyrie general who's in Takela. Come on, Aquila. There you go.
Aquila. Okay.
Aquila's not mentioned in this, but eventually becomes part of that alliance a little bit as well. So, and yeah, okay. Wait, Ular, Jandar, Einar, Vidar. Why does it feel like one's missing? Is it just
Ukkar?
Aquila?
Ular, you don't have Ular.
Ular.
No, Ular's there. Ular, Jandar, Einar, Vidar.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just a
he's the one that was fighting again.
yeah. So it's just Aquila missing. Okay, then. I don't know. I again, I'm very confused tonight. Apparently, but yeah. So we have this alliance, and it's so interesting when it comes to Age of Annihilation. That alliance is gone. Although the fragmentations of what this past alliance created originally, you still have the original team of Raylan Shori, Drake Alexander, Q10, now Q11, and Shiori, still interacting with each other, still holding on to those bonds, not wanting to get into renegade lore too deeply, but just saying that those bonds still remain from what they experienced at this time. So it's very interesting. And when it comes to the webisodes really plan that too, because when they join together, they're not a cohesive team. They're not a cohesive unit. They even even Raylan and Drake Alexander, who are direct general allies. They are of the same group. They're kind of like oil and water. If you read the last webisode script and stuff, it takes them time to develop a bond together. So let alone the other characters.
It feels like it's the first time you're playing with that army, and then by the time we get to AOA, it's like the second time you played that army.
Yeah.
I wish the AOA versions honestly had a bit more like interconnectivity, like to build them all up as an army, like to
That would be
showcase that development. Like, oh, if Raylan's on your team, you have +1, whatever, and Shiori, like just kind of highlight that. I think it would have been a really cool design space to explore.
Mm.
It would be.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, Sonlin. I forgot. Sonlin was another one part of that.
Sonlin Zular, yeah.
Yep. But, it would be an interesting thing because we don't know what's going to happen in the future in future lore. There could be an instance to where they do all join together on some future scenario update, which would be really, really cool to have a scenario, an official scenario to where you do use all of them at once and they undergo some other journey or quest. That would be kind of cool because they've all have gone through change. Some more than others, but they've all have gone through it, and that would be a kind of a unique scenario to bring them together. And okay, what threat is coming up next that they need to hold strong together, even if it's not under the authority of Valkyrie generals, because they're all right now currently split. Those bonds of friendship is what's moving them forward, and understand it's like it doesn't matter if anyone's ordering us or not. We know what the right thing to do is, and that the bonds of friendship hold stronger than what a general's telling you what to do. What leaders telling you what to do. So, but that's just me speculating. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's just the inner storyteller in me thinking. So,
sure.
Any other thoughts? Thoughts on this?
Yeah. I was doing some digging here about dates of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Heroscapers.com news section, I found 2 news entries talking about Thormun journal releases. Mm-hmm. So in June 30th, 2008, we have Chapter 4 announcement, which is obviously I haven't got to yet. So presumably that means what we're reading right now is before June 30th, 2008. Okay. And there is another post from June 6, 2007 on Heroscapers.com in the news section, which links to a Thormun's Journal URL, which is probably Chapter 3. But I'm just kind of reading by the URL parameters, and it obviously goes to a Hasbro redirect page these days. Now, June 2007 was just a few months before Swarm of the Morrow was released officially, so it's quite possible these things came out a few months ahead of Swarm of the Morrow to go ahead and promote that storyline.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
For sure, it makes sense.
Thank you for looking that up. That's really helpful.
Jason, that takes me back to, my goodness, 2007, 2008. Just kidding.
A long time ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. I don't even know what to say about that. All right. Any other thoughts? About this? I mean, this is just basically get ready for what's next. Next time we read more Thormun's journal. But
it's starting to get pretty good. We've gone through the first. It's really cool to see the narrative growth. It starts with there are vipers. This guy summoned them. They're in his army. They're snakes. To kind of these very strong interpersonal connections and character moments. You get a very strong sense of personality from Shiori just from the couple of paragraphs we introduce her in. You have identity of these characters, and it's not important. It's not essential to gameplay, but I think that's why so many people to this day are still attached to these characters. Is when your character has a story, and that's reflected both in the mechanics and in the visual appearance of the character. There's a connection there that you form. It's more than just a plastic figure. It's a unit with a story and a backstory and goals and ambitions. So it's I don't know. You got to take a dip into their mindset and kind of relate to that unit a bit more. So I appreciate they didn't have to do this back in the day, but I'm glad it exists and it still kind of continues onward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as an adult, I just want more.
Mhm.
I want more story. I want more bios about these characters and like more in-depth information. It's so fascinating. And I get it. There are so many characters in this game. I get it. So many. But
Book.
everybody attaches themselves to something, right? You know, Ryan loves the bugs. I love the Morrow. I also love robots. I like Soulborgs. I want to know more about Soulborgs. So I'm sure somebody at Renegade headquarters working on Heroscape is hopefully working on some kind of lore book, taking a lot of this information and compiling it into an actual book. You know, would I be okay with a PDF file too? Yes, but I think a physical item that we can put on the shelf in the background, add it to either Josiah's or Jason's sets, you know. But as I'm sitting here in the void,
photographs, maps, dates, calendars, like a whole in-depth book, please. I would love it.
Yeah, and like you said, like hopefully crossing our fingers that Thormun becomes a Valkyrie general in the next master set, and it comes with the book, you know, or that's the pre-order bonus, I should say.
I'd take it.
That'd be dope.
It, you know, within reason, even if it costs something, I'd be like, I pay it.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
Something.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I drop a decent amount of money for a well done lore compilation with like a bunch of like behind the scene designer note. Like they really took their time
that
and
too
really
would be
made it
great.
like an homage to both Heroscape, but to the design process. Like scrapped ideas for characters, you know, kind of catalog it all. Like this is what Sergeant Drake originally looked like. Originally, he had like a bazooka instead of a grab. You know, like all these like design changes that go into the finished product is stuff that really fascinates me as well.
Imagine if they had the figure. It's like, wait, that doesn't look like a rocket launcher. It looks like a grappling hook. And they're like, oh, that's a better idea. Well, let's make it a grappling hook.
Yeah.
You can grapple things. All right. Any other thoughts about this before we close this segment up? I think we got it pretty good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's taking a look at Journal Entry 35, the beginning of what will eventually be the Swarm of the Morrow storyline. Can't wait to get into it at a future time. So until next time, this is taking a look at the last journal entry of Travels and Travails, and moving on to the next journal entry of like Swarm of the Morrow next time.